A very good evening. You're watching Big Bang with me, Shruti. Well, what do you do when you see a man harassing a woman on the streets? Do Bengalurians just stare or do they stand up against it? News9 does a reality check and the results will shock you.
That is the burning question here. Did Bengaluru just stand or did it take a stand? To find that out, we at News9 conducted a social experiment on the streets of Bengaluru. 4 prime locations, and the answers we got left us happy and left us sad.
I don't know.
Excuse me. Hello. 98 bus
I told I don't know. Are you blind? Can't you see? Why are you following me? I've been watching you guys from half an hour. I'm telling you that I don't know. What's your problem? Please do get lost. Are you taking my pic? I saw you taking my pic. I just saw you guys taking my pic. Don't you understand if I tell you once not to trouble me? Kodri me first to phone. I'm telling you guys to get lost. Don't disturb me here.
Eve teasing. It happens at every nook and corner. And most of the times, you don't even take it seriously. It is not even reported. But mind you, Eve teasing is the first step towards sexual violence. Now, we on the streets of Bengaluru found a big dearth of men. I'm talking about the real men. The men who would take a stand, would stand up and teach those Eve teasers a lesson of a lifetime.
Uncle, nodi, uncle, agli na sumne nitkonidre ban hege ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಮನೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಂಬರ್ ಹೇಳ್ಚೋ ಇಲ್ಲ ಈಗ. ನೋಡು.
Sir, please, sir. Or your photo. ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫೋನ್. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Sir, these guys are following me from half an hour. I'm just going into shop. They're just following into shop as well. Yeah, I'm waiting for my friends. Please help, no tell. हाँ? नहीं अंकल, मैं बस को वेट कर रही हूँ. सर देखो सर. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Ma'am, please help. Yeah, those guys who are following me.
Police are in call the cop. They're standing there right now.
ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫೋನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ತಾನೆ. ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಫೋನ್ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಸರ್ ನೋಡಿ ಸರ್, ಫೋನ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಸರ್. ಅವ್ರು ನನ್ನ ಫೋನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಫೋನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ. ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ ಸರ್, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ. ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
Shocked? Petrified? Already feeling unsafe? Wait, Marty. Bengaluru still had some heroes who stepped in and took charge. We at News 9 salute all of them today.
ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೈ ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ ಸರ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಹೂ ಹಿ ಇಸ್ ನೋಡಿ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೈ ಬಿಡಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ
ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇದು ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಸರಿ ಬಾ
ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ ನೋಡಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತು ತಾನೆ ಬಾ
ಕೈ ಬಿಡ್ರಿ
ಆಟ
ಆಂಟಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಆಂಟಿ ಯಾರಂತಾನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಕೈ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ
ಮನೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ
ಬಿಡು ನನ್ ಕೈ ಬಿಡು
ಏನು
ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಕೇಳೋಣ ನನ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ನನ್ನ ಮನೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಆಂಟಿ
ನೀವೇ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ
ಅಲ್ಲ ಮನೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಓಡೋಗ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾಳೆ
ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಂಟಿ ಅವ್ನು ಯಾರಂತ ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಂಟಿ ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಅತ್ತೆ ಮಗಳು ಅಂತ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಏನಾನೋ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಕೈ ಬಿಡ್ರಿ
This was a reality check to know how the public reacts to distress calls by women who are eve-teased. Hired actors created a scene in which men eve-teased them in public in several locations of the city. There were varied reactions from the public in different parts of the city. While some did show real concern, some backed off and some only stared. Our only intention was to give you a first-hand information of how the world is out there. A News9 report.
He was an engineer. She was a final year student. Both of them liked each other's profile on Shaadi.com and decided to get married. But now, the girl has filed a complaint against the techie for outraging her modesty. What went wrong in the couple's relationship? Let's find out.
All of 33 years, Shamim Raju Nadaf, a native of Hubli, came to Nama City around 4 years back. He had a dream to make it big in the software world after being employed by the prestigious TCS company. But Shamim's fate took a sudden turn, and today he is cooling his heels behind bars. He is hanging his head down in shame after being accused of a shocking crime. Shaadi.com case side effects. Shamim got himself registered on Shaadi.com. There he met a final year student of MBA and a resident of Vasant Nagar who was equally interested in him. Here the duo exchanged their numbers and soon started dating. Shamim seemed to be interested in the girl who belonged to the same community as his. As the days passed by, the couple got closer and engaged in a physical relationship. The girl was definite that Shamim would marry her as promised. But sadly, the time only passed by and reportedly Shamim was not keen to get married to the girl. Kabul hai. When the girl threatened Shamim that she would separate from him, he reportedly uttered Kabul hai word 3 times to have her by his side. All was well in the young couple's abode. The girl used to secretly meet Shamim on a daily basis. She was extremely happy, thinking Shamim would always be by her side, and continued with their relationship. But after a few months, she realized there was something wrong. She pestered him to get legally married to her. This is when Shamim showed his true colors. After promising marriage, he backtracked. He was done with the girl and he mentioned the same to her. He even went missing a month back, leaving the girl all alone. But the girl was not done with him. The girl reportedly went to High Grounds police station and registered a complaint against Shamim. In her complaint, she mentioned about how she was cheated with the promise of marriage by Shamim for 6 months. Looking into the girl's complaint, the High Grounds police took Shamim into their custody. They tried to reunite the young couple, but sadly, Shamim's parents were against this alliance. They turned down the proposal, stating they don't want a modern girl as their daughter-in-law.
ಪ್ರಕರಣಗಳು ಕೂಡ ದಾಖಲಾಗಿವೆ. ಪ್ರಕರಣಗಳ ದಾಖಲಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದರ ನಾವು ತನಿಖೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ತನಿಖೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸತ್ಯ ಅಸತ್ಯತೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ವಿಷಯವು ಬಹಳ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮವಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಯುವಕ ಯುವತಿಯರ ಜೀವನದ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ತನಿಖೆ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಪ್ರಕರಣದ ಒಂದು ತನಿಖೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಒದಗಿಸಲು ಕ್ಷಮೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
Now the police has registered a complaint under IPC section 376 and 420 against Shamim for cheating, and the girl has been sent to Victoria Hospital for medical examination. Well, Shamim had a nice job and a family to care for, but he decided to lure a girl with a promise of marriage only to satiate his thirst. What a shame. Vishnu Prasad for News9 Bengaluru.
With Father's Day just a night away, children in many households are preparing to make the day special for their fathers. But there are households of kids who are deprived of this privilege because of spousal disputes. This issue was brought to the fore by a protest at Town Hall today.
Hundreds of protesters gathered in front of the Town Hall this morning with placards. It was in support of such fathers who lost the custody of their children, all thanks to the law.
Fathers here in particular, and all of them here, including the women, are fighting for men's, the rights for men, the rights for fathers particularly, because they believe that a family is made only with two parents. One mother alone cannot create a family. A father is very important, and to be deprived of not seeing his children time and again, and the law too supporting it is unfair, is what they say. They're preparing a memorandum. They're trying to take an appointment with the Prime Minister and approach him to make more stringent laws that support fathers and men in general.
90% of the fathers who come here, they're not able to meet their own children. This is something inhuman. Forget, court case and all. It's common sense that, the children have to be with the father on the Father's Day. And, so we are having a nationwide dharna today because there are about 30,000 fathers, all India, who are suffering this situation. So for this, we are going and talking to our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi to make amendments, in the suitability for the family laws and make shared parenting or joint custody, a sort of mandatory through registration, in the Parliament.
The organizers of the protest say that the divorce rates in the city have more than doubled, especially among the urban middle class. In many such legal battles, it is the mother who gets the child's custody. They highlighted the plight of those men who are prevented from even seeing their kids because of the loopholes in the law. Unfortunately, such fights leave the child in a mess.
It's Father's Day. It should be the celebration of love between the father and his children. And for most of us, it's a day of pain because we are artificially separated from the children by some women who don't understand that they are seeking revenge, and in this they are destroying their own children. And we have to call it by its name. It's only terrorism. Okay? And it should not be accepted.
The protesters, with the support of Child Rights and Shared Parenting, an NGO, are planning to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi to propose modifications of law which deprive children of either parents when stuck in a legal battle. Nabila for News9 Bengaluru.
Crime rates supposedly increase, as do the rates of hospital visits and suicides on Friday the 13th. But what happened in Namma City? Did all hell break loose as the folk legend states? Take a look.
Friday the 13th. A day dreaded by several people. The origins of the idea that Friday the 13th is unlucky are unclear, but last night 11 people committed suicide in different parts of the city. Who are these people and what drove them to commit suicide? Kalasapalia. Inconsolable relatives screaming their lungs out after the loss of their beloved. A grief-stricken wife crying and stating she is not behind the suicide. The little kid standing next to the mother, not knowing that the father is no more. These were the scenes witnessed after 30-year-old Sampangi popped sleeping pills and committed suicide last evening. It is learned that the deceased and his wife were not living together for the last 2 months, but the wife says she is not responsible for the man's suicide.
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನನಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೆ 6 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಸರ್ ನನಗೆ. ಅವತ್ತು ಈಗ 2 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ